morning, traders. This is Baja Pips. It's Monday, April 17th, 2023, 11:03 a.m. And today I'm going to be doing a weekly technical breakdown. Now, I have a previous weekly technical breakdown I did yesterday, and that was covering AUD NZD and Euro USD. In this video, I'm going to cover the same pairs. I'm also going to add UCAD. The duration of the video will not be longer than the last one. I'll cover all of this in under 20 minutes. Pretty much want to update y'all on the AUD NZD pair. It is Monday and the markets is moving and volatility is picking up. Also, I want to just highlight what my trailing stops that I just applied on the AUD NZD. I'm going to go into the Euro US dollar next and break down my entry for this because I do see an entry potentially striking a really good reward to risk ratio. I did break this pair down yesterday, and I did explain that if it were to continue on down, I was going to look for a short, and it's hitting that exact prime point of entry right now. So I'm going to do this one by one, little by little, and let's get it started. So AUD NZD, we can see on the daily chart, we are fairly bullish. It's my first time clicking on that D1 button today, and you can see the price did gap up as expected. My video yesterday, I did explain that I held my trades over the weekend and I had a trailing stop loss, which was applied around here. If I put my cross here, it was right under 1.07638. I had a trailing stop loss, and now we are currently up over 50 pips in the money right now. So I did move these trailing stops. As you can see, I'm collecting a minimal of 22 pips on that one trade alone. So I'm actually going home with something. And then this other trade I'm collecting, I'm losing 3.6 pips. So it's going to be a total of about 20 pips, 19 to 20 pips. Worst case scenario, if there is some sort of reversal that happens against my position, I will get out just because I don't want to give back all my profits and I could always hop back in. So that is just a breakdown of that pair. And I am still expecting price to continue to surge up. I can show y'all what happened pretty much on the 5-minute chart because the markets are pretty fresh for the week. Just a moment, we can see that price did actually gap down. We see that price was consolidating for a little while and it gapped down about 20 pips, but it did not hit my stop loss. My stop loss was right above the original area of entry, and that would have probably gave me a little bit of profits close to break even if that did happen. But we did see the weekend gap happen. It attracted a lot of sellers, and then we popped on up, and now we hit the liquidity zone of 1.0813, and there's a lot of sellers trapped in here, especially after that weekend gap. It did knock out buyers as well, but then right now I expect buyers that did get gapped out, they're probably going to be aggressively buying this and continuing to move price on up. So I'm going to highlight this right now just to show y'all what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a really good uptrend on the 5-minute chart. When I do the down top analysis, I do a bottom up analysis along with the top down analysis because I trade all time frames. I could even go down to the 10-second time frame and trade if I wanted to, but I'm going to save that for an algorithm, a trading bot I'll create in the future. I don't want to do high frequency trading. It's just not worth my time. I'd rather do these where the reward to risk ratio is worth my actual effort. So right now we are seeing a potential bull run. I'm going to show y'all right now what I do expect within the next 24 plus hours. See this one up 74 pips, maybe about 60, 70 pips, at least a day's ATR. So we're going to take this up one ATR at a time. So probably around 1.0713 is where I'm looking at my next potential area of trailing my stops. So I do expect price to surge on up today. If anything does go against my expectations, as you know, we are not perfect. We are humans. So, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm willing to accept that, take accountability for that and get out. Also, I wanted to note, because I can read the 5-minute chart, I can also trim my stop extremely close to price action. Now, this is something that I would not recommend unless you can, like I said, you can read price action, you understand every tick. If not, do not do what I just did. Keep it below 1.07885. Once again, this is not a trade recommendation. I don't recommend trades. I'm just showing y'all my own performance. And if you want to copy or, take similar ideas, you can. But I'm not a financial analyst. I'm just a trader. So let's get on to the next pair. This is all broken down for y'all so you can see. I'm probably going to look to either collect some profits around here. Price starts to reject around 1.0713. That will give me a significant amount of profits from my entry. That's going to be approximately 100 pips. And then I'll look to get back in or wait for a possible consolidation or reversal against that position. But that is my breakdown for AUD NZD. Let's get into Euro US dollar because I'm going to look to enter this trade fairly soon. Now you can see that the Euro US dollar, it has been declining. We had a couple hours of push on to the upside, but that did not succeed. It actually failed. We are seeing price kind of push back into that range, so I'm just a little bit concerned about that move. I would like to see further confirmation of a downside move. So I'm going to move this horizontal line that I did not touch in the past, day or so. And we can see that I'm going to put a sell stop right below there. So this buy stop right now, I'm going to actually delete it right now because I don't really see the market going bullish right now. And even if it did, I'll probably get in from a lower point. So, for me to go, back into a bullish bias, price would have to reject these lows and continue on up past 1.01, 1.00 psychological area right around here, and continue on up and show some sort of uptrend. And I probably would enter along right there, but as of right now, it is going down. So I'm going to put a sell stop right below here. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do this on the MacBook. I don't know what button to push. I'm like control click. I don't know how to do it. If y'all can help me, that would be awesome, but I'll probably end up doing this on my platform right now. So just bear with me for a couple of minutes while I click my MetaTrader on my phone and do it because I'm using a MacBook and I honestly do not know how to, I don't know how to right click or left click on the MacBook. I'm a Windows guy, but I'm gonna put a sell stop right below 1.09583. So let's put that there. And if my stop loss, I want to assess my risk for this particular trade. 1.0960, 1.0, so about 40 pips. Sounds about right. Yeah, about 40 pips. Probably even less. I could probably do 30 pips. So I'll probably do like a 35 pip stop loss. So 1.0960 is where I'm going to put the trailing stop. And I'm just doing the calculations in my head. This is a 50K count. I don't want to risk any more than 5% on this position. Preferably no more than 3%. I can always scale in. So I'm going to start off with 3% risk. Just a minute so I could just do the math because I'm not a mathematician and I'm not I just woke up, so I'm not trying to do any calculations in my head. But yeah, 3%, 0.03 times 50,000. And we're gonna get about $1,500 is what I'm risking on the position. So if it's $1,500, we divide that by what lot size am I using? 30 pips, 35 pips. Okay, probably gonna be okay. About $42 a pip. So yeah, I mean, probably 4 standards. I do 5 standards on this. So as you can see, my lots are kind of heavy on this, but I'm gonna reduce that because I need a free up margin for the rest of my trades. So I'm gonna use 5 standards on this one, and I'm just gonna put that right there. Just a moment. Stop loss is going to be, I don't need to have it, and here's a good thing, I don't really need to have it that high up, but I'll probably put it around 1.09955. And then to take profit, I'm gonna, just for this particular trade, just because I just want to be in and out 40 pips, I'm gonna aim for like I said, probably the lows of this range, so maybe like around 138 pips, 1.08214. Just for right now, I would like to see these lows taken out before I continue trading this. I do feel as if they will be taken out, and depending on price action, I'll be able to trail that more aggressively. So there we go. I just placed that on my phone. Y'all can see that I'm risking 1975. So that's not even that much on this account. And the reward to risk is awesome. 69.30 is what I'm probably gonna go home with if this does work out in my favor. And I'm gonna let this one play out. So if price does not hit these lows in the next several hours, I'll probably reevaluate the trade. It's probably gonna range up, or it could possibly, like I said, make a counter move to the north side and continue on up. But right now we are fairly bearish. I do feel as if this trade is gonna take on off to the downside. And yeah, I mean, at least 1.5 times, 2 times the ATR. The daily ATR on this is 75 pips. So that's 2 times the ATR. That's perfect for me. And that's it for this Euro USD. Now to break down my last pair is going to be US dollar Canada. So if I go to charts, okay, there we go. Now US dollar Canada. I'm just going to break this down real briefly. Haven't really even looked at this in a while because I got shaken out of this pair as well. Last week I had trailing stops and I was selling it, and then price just shot back on up because it's at an area of support right now. But this is a perfect example of what I mean by taking profits early if you can until something happens. So if these lows of 1.32653 is broken, we could see a huge downside decline. I mean, this is looking like at least an 800 pip drop, and that's gonna make it hit April lows of last year, and then there's even further drop. This is a mean short. Like, this is a big short. If y'all seen the movie The Big Short, this is a big short right now. So if this does break these lows, we're looking at least 700-800 pips to the downside. And if it's coming down with that much momentum, we probably are going to see a financial crash like everyone was fearing. Everyone's talking about the banking crisis in America and the financial crash and the wars and there's so much going on in Babylon right now that I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm across the world, literally completely on the other side of the world, on the other side of the Pacific. And from what I've seen, it is looking very, very messy over there. And this right here looks like all these lows can be taken out. And if they do, it's going to drop to 4 or 5 years. This is 6-year lows. And if it takes out these 6-year lows, it's a free fall from there. We don't know how long this is going to drop for, but we have 6-year lows just chilling right around here, 1.20061. So this is a really, really good opportunity. Like, some people will talk about riding the wave for an entire year or two. I know a lot of traders was trading UJ and GJ back in 2016 when I was trading Forex in my earlier days of Forex. I witnessed that. I witnessed the what is it called? What's that broker called? FXCM crash. I witnessed that stuff. I was there. I was trading during that time. I remember it vividly. People lost fortunes, and looks like potentially another one of those because we've been in a large range for quite some time. Price tried to break on up several times, and we're hitting those stops of those buyers right now. It's been pretty much accumulating buy orders for quite some time now, and I do believe that these are going to be taken out next, and we could possibly see a decline back to 2014 lows. Now, will it go? There's a lot of fearmongers, but let me just move this around. Will it go to 2008 lows like they were saying, the 2008 recession? I mean, possibly. And I mean, has it been lower than that? I mean, my chart can only go back to 2003. So this is the lowest it's ever been. Unfortunately, we've been in a large range and it's been descending ever since. You all know this is the impulsive wave. I'm gonna highlight it for y'all so you can see. Numbers don't lie, so it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. It was a downtrend, and then we had a major surge up, consolidated for several years, literally several years, and then it popped on up just shortly. So we could be witnessing a major uptrend, but look at what happened in 2019. It had its opportunity. It faked out in 2019. So there was a lot of hype in the news, in the fundamentals and economics of the U.S. In 2019, I actually left the country, but there was a lot of hype, and after that, it was a mean fake out. I seen what was coming. A lot of stuff happened, pandemics and all that, congestion. Now we're seeing a possible pop to the upside, but we're still in a bearish range. Let me highlight that for those of you that cannot see. Right here, if you're not price action literate, you probably can't see this, but that's still a major bear trend. That's the impulsive wave, and this is the corrective wave right now in the USDCAD. So right now, we just broke that trend line as of the past few weeks, and that's where you've been hearing all these crazy news. Unfortunately, if this high right here does not get respected, if it's respected, we're going to see a huge decline. If it's not respected, we could see a new all-time highs, and that is, like I said, it's highly unlikely because this is not good. All I'm saying is this is not good. If it takes us out, it's going to drive momentum and force. There's a lot of buyers and investors. That's why I said they say bank of crisis. There's investors in these lows. And unfortunately, if that gets hit, this is just all facts. This is all math. You know, it's going to go down to the 2008 lows, unfortunately. Will it crash that low? I mean, possibly, unless they have some sort of inflation that they try to pump price back on up. And even in that case, it's going to take a lot of pumping after, you know, over a decade of consolidation. So I'm just giving y'all a fair warning. Be prepared. I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm not a fearmonger, and that's not my expertise right now. I just want to just highlight my standpoint on the USD CAD, and I am actually looking at a run right now. So let's talk about what's going to happen in the most current time. I don't want to short it just yet on a daily because I need to see these lows taken out. But if you can already see, it was a fake out high, and we have a new official downtrend. So if I can delete a couple of these lines. What's up, y'all? I'm back. Apologies for that. For some reason, the broker that I was using on my example stopped working. It's on my phone, it's still working. But for some reason on my platform right now, my laptop, it's not working. It says no connection. So I'm not using that broker long term. I promise you that, because that is not good. And this is why I stick with a couple primary brokers, but I want to try this one out, and I just don't like it. It's not sustainable. I mean, yeah, I'm in profits and it's still running on my my phone, but for some reason it just logged out of the connection and just didn't even log back in. I tried multiple times. I stopped the video because I don't want you guys copying my IP address. So that's why I do that. And yeah, let's get back to it though. Apologies for the distraction. I know everything looks a little bit different on this, but bear with me. My analysis is still the same. I want to pick up where I left off and just wrap up this video because this was my last pair breakdown anyways. So I'm using my FTMO account just to break this down. This is my scalp account, so of course I'm not setting orders on this, but I will set orders on my phone, and hopefully on the other broker fixes its platform, because it's definitely a technical glitch or a technical issue. But let's get back to it. Yeah, so USD Canada is dropping. It's pretty obvious at this point. We can all see it's fallen pretty hefty, and I just don't really like the fact that looking for a buy right now, you're kind of going off of your own reason for going long. Right now, it's just obvious to me it's going down. There's buyers that are trapped in these areas, and it looks like they can take that liquidity out and continue on down. So long term, I'm bearish. Now let's look at the hourly time frame, and let's just look for some possible entries. We could look right here. We do see that little downtrend that happened that actually accelerated. So we could see that the momentum did start picking up to the downside even more, and that's great news. Looks like sellers did take a break, probably profit taking area. I would take profit, especially at the end of the week. And, that was over 100 pips southbound. And right now we are currently looking at a potential move to the upside. Now, I don't know how long this upside move is going to last, but like I said, long term, I'm bearish. Short term, though, might be able to find some buys out of this. As y'all know, nothing goes all the way down right away, and nothing goes all the way up right away. So it's going to take time for this long-term bias to play out. Like I said, we are at some range lows, so I wouldn't expect, it to continue drift, shooting down. Probably would accumulate some buy orders before it drops down. So, you know, at least for the beginning of the week, just like Euro USD long term, you know, it may be going up. Who knows? They're both economies are in some trouble, but especially US. But looking at US dollar CAD, there's a possible uptrend in the making if we could pass by the highs of right here, 1.33985. If we could pass by those highs, I think we could take these stops out. There's stops all in this area northbound for about 128 pips. And that would be the area of resistance that I would be looking to take price on up to, because after that, we could have some struggle going on up further, but you know, that's just where I would like to take it. So if I'm going long right here, my stop loss is just going to remain right below these lows, recent lows. I don't really want to take it on down too low, but recent lows is pretty fine. So about 50 pip stop loss, 1.33486 is where I'm looking to get out if price does go against me. So let me mark that on up right here, 1.334496. Just around this area is where I'm looking to get out. So that's my stop loss. This is my entry. This is my area of risk that I'm willing to sit through. And yeah, that's about 50 pips. And I'm going for about 150 pips. I'll probably get out before these highs anyways. So I don't want to anticipate a breakout of the highs, but you know, probably get out before that. And that's a 3-to-1. But here's the thing about being able to reprice action. I can get in from a smaller time frame, such as the 5 minute, and actually trade this one. So I'm looking at an earlier entry to refine my edge, and that means I can have a higher lot size, which means larger reward, of course, and smaller risk because I'm using a tighter stop loss. That's the benefit of being able to do this across all time frames. So right now the 5 minute, like I said, we just coming from the weekend. We had a gap, it consolidated, we had a fake out upwards, and it looks like it's potentially going to gap down. If this price does gap down, of course, my bias is going to change. If it does not hit these highs before and it starts to continue on down, I probably will be looking for a continuation to the downside. But this is a pretty large bar, so we need to have some high impact news that really comes in and shows a display of sellers coming down. And that's quite, that's like a whole day's ATR away. So, if that does happen, we need to see at least 70 pip drop to gather momentum, and then we could probably see look for entry right around these lows to go continue the downtrend that I had displayed over here. And if that does happen, that means that there are just no buyers in this area. It's going to pick up in the selling pressure, and more than likely it's going to hit these stops and continue on down. And who knows how low it's going to go, but that's where I'll be looking for a sell entry and to trail my stop. But right now, like I said, we are looking for longs right now. So it did just pop on out of this area, came back into the range briefly, but I don't know how strong these sellers are. The sellers should have continued on down, and they did not. So it's kind of like a fake out to me. If we could see a pop above 1.33680 in the next hour or two, couple hours, it looks like it's starting to do that. It's like 5 pips away, and I could see a continuation, like a nice little surge on up past 1.33765. I may actually go long a little sooner because we're getting into the old highs and of Friday, and ain't no telling, but to me, that's a great reward to risk getting in there and risking about 30 pips. So I've reduced my stop by almost half by being able to find an entry on the 5 minute time frame. So like I said, it is what it is. But yeah, if we can get back and reach back to these highs, because this isn't even a strong range, this is just bears kind of taking over. But if we can pass the highs of 1.33811, I would actually look to go long at this point. You can see that's about 31 pips. So my reward to risk is actually increased. I'd be risking 31 pips in order to get 160, which is, of course, that's a lot better. So it is what it is. It's almost an 8. It's 7-to-1, 7.5 to 1 reward to risk. And that's awesome for this week. So I'm going to set this up on my other account. And yeah, we're going to watch these pairs ride out. Euro USD, UCAD, and Audnzd is all broken down for y'all for the rest of the week. If then scenarios, I'm neutral bias, so anything can happen, and I'm willing to take sides of whatever, depending on what the market gives me. And I'll follow up with y'all at the end of the week. Have a good one.